Do you think it's possible to discuss politics and still be friends with somebody? I don't know.
I would lose a friend over politics. And I'm letting you, that's hard to say, but I will. Because one thing is this, politics is whether I eat or not. I'm a minority. It hits me more, it seems like. Like, don't tell me that, I can't get a job because of my dreads, all this stuff like that. And no, if your political beliefs is going to harm my life, we can have the problem. Yeah. So I'm going to be vocal about it. I'm going to say, I'll be cordial with you, but we're not going to be best friends. We ain't even going to be here for free.
Oh, and another thing. Me and you will never be friends if you're voting for Donald Trump. Me and you will never remain friends if you're voting for Donald Trump. It's not a political difference. This is not the 2012, 2004 elections where we just disagree on how the economy should be ran. This is my life. If you are willing to vote for someone who gets to determine whether I live or die if I have complications when I have a child, you will never sit in the presence of me. I had took it off one of my closest friends because of this election. It is that deep. Anybody can go. I don't care who you think you are.
So people are cutting friendship. Some are getting new friends because of political differences or being in the same political side. I don't know what you think, because it's true that politics is something that at times gets deep into our hearts if you're not careful with it. And if we are not careful, it's something that always bring hatred, bring jealousy, bring all sorts of rage and all these things. But then, I don't know if you ever thought of this thing in this way, then it can reach a point whereby maybe friendship, which has been built for many years, can just be destroyed like that because of difference in political sides. All right. Politics determine a lot of things in our countries. The kind of leaders we elect determine probably the peace of the country, maybe the job employment instability, and all these things. But then, don't you think we should be in a position? Because most countries nowadays are democratic. We should be in a position whereby we're able to accommodate different ideologies. I can be from this political side, you can be from that political side, but then I think it's of best interest, or it can really be a good thing if we can just bury the differences but then move on. But it seems that's not the case because people are losing friends. I don't know if it has ever happened to you. If you ever lost any friend, or you've ever gained a friendship just because they belong to the same political party, or people are having different perspectives. Because for some people, they are saying that politics determine where they live, the food they eat, the schools probably they'll attend, these kind of things. Let's take a listen to what some have to say about this.
Do you think it's possible to discuss politics and still be friends with somebody? I don't know. Because emotions are really running higher than usual during this election year. And if you decide to engage in discussion about candidates and issues, you really need to think about how to handle yourself so that you don't do damage. Now, when I believe something strongly, it's because I've invested my time and energy to learn and to form an opinion. So it's no surprise that it can feel pretty personal and awful when somebody is critical or judgmental about my viewpoint. And this is true for anybody, of course. Now, there are three important things to keep in mind when talking politics. First of all, is the person important to you? And is it important to protect the relationship? 2, the issue, is it important to you, and are you knowledgeable about it? And 3, what is your intention exactly? Is it to learn, to argue, to persuade? What do you really want to have happen? You really want to win? So I suggest that understanding would be a more constructive goal. Now, a person's belief is what they think, okay? A firm opinion. And it's not their identity, it's not who they are as a person. A position is what you want, and an interest is why you want it. What motivates you, what you care about, what moves you. So arguments can ignite quickly and escalate if we feel personally attacked, judged, criticized, because we're emotionally invested. Now, a free society like ours is inviting of debate and compromise and finding common ground. And in fact, our Constitution guarantees equal rights and freedoms to each one of us to speak, to worship, to learn, to work, and to contribute to the general welfare. And this is essential because we're all in this life together. Now, if you really want to discuss politics, especially with friends, please read my blog at toughtalkcoach.com for 10 tips on how to have a constructive conversation that stays on track and that shows respect to the other person. So, good luck.
I keep seeing Republicans, conservatives say, why would you end friendships over political differences? We can still be friends and have different opinions. And I really thought about this because I think like 10 years ago, that was true. I think you could have different opinions on policies and still be friends, but not anymore, and not on topics like this. I don't think it's a political difference anymore. I think it's a fundamental morality issue. And so I just want to be really clear. If you believe in mass deportation of illegal immigrants, if you believe in the removal of DEI initiatives, if you believe that Trump was right to pardon violent offenders from the January 6th Capitol attack, if you believe that the government should get to decide who you marry, the books you read, the religion that you practice, if you believe that eliminating the Equal Employment Opportunity Order of 1965, if you believe that the government should control women's reproductive rights, and if you defend Elon Musk after doing a Nazi salute not once, but twice in front of our presidential seal, we are not friends. Freedom should not be reserved for a specific group of people within America. I know that I'm on the right side of history, and I just hope that the damage that's done in the next 4 years is not irreparable to both our country and the people in it. And so I just wanted to make that abundantly clear.
So, when people say we shouldn't unfriend people over politics, and there's this common liberal response of like, this isn't about politics, this is about morality. I think we should stop making that argument because they're not different things. Now, I'm not saying that every political decision or political opinion is a moral one, or that if you have a different political opinion than me, it is necessarily a moral disagreement. But like whether something is moral or immoral has nothing to do with whether it's political. Like you can't say it's immoral for me to murder someone just because I want to. But then say if I want to vote for a political party to institute policies so that they can murder people whenever they want to, that's somehow not moral anymore. And you can cry all day long about how you're dividing us, But like at the end of the day, if you don't believe that poor children deserve to eat and disabled children deserve to go to school and everyone deserves health care and everyone deserves a living wage, like we're already divided. That's not me. Like me pointing out that like we don't agree on some fundamentally moral issues is not me dividing us. That's just you whining because you don't like when people point out that you're sitting at the same table as Nazis. Now, if you do agree with those things and we just disagree on the best policies that will bring about those results, then we have a lot to talk about, a lot to collaborate on, a lot to stand together on, even if we fundamentally come from different worldviews on how to bring those things together. But if you just like don't agree with those things and you vote for the party that actively tries to make like go against those ideas, then we're already divided. I fear there is no common ground to be had.
It seems that it gets deeper than what we see or think, because some people, for instance, in the United States and America, Trump probably, if his administration didn't welcome immigrants, probably their stance on wars, immigration, and maybe race and this kind of stuff. Some people believe that if an administration supports these things and they their ideologies are against them. They're out. And they're not only out, it seems that they could be out even with those people who support these regimes. I don't know what you think. This is a discussion, but then what do you guys think? Is it really okay when we lose friendship just because of our political differences? Is it something which is deeper than that? For instance, what you believe in, maybe what an administration could bring to your life, just in case someone support or not supporting them. Is that a ground to make or destroy friendships? Let me get your opinion down below.